Remember when Trump insisted,
I have nothing to do with Project 2025.
well, now that he's president in 2025, what he's doing sure looks a lot like
Project 2025.
A Time magazine analysis found that about 2/3 of Trump's Week 1 executive orders seemed to be ripped from the pages of the Project 2025 playbook. At Courier, we've been talking about Project 2025 since 2023. What we said would happen is now happening. Here are 5 ways Trump and his billionaire backers are putting Project 2025 into action. Number 1. Trump is filling the White House with the Project 2025 team. Russell Vought has been called the chief architect of Project 2025, and Trump chose him to return as head of the crucial Office of Management and Budget. Vought argued that a president can override Congress to freeze funding of programs he doesn't like, even though this is explicitly against the law. We've already seen the new Trump White House try to do that. Trump picked Brendan Carr, who wrote the chapter on the FCC, to head the FCC. He picked Peter Navarro, an author of Project 2025's chapter on trade, to be trade counselor. He picked contributor Tom Homan to be the border czar. Stephen Miller and Caroline Levitt were part of Project 2025 and even starred in its recruitment video. Trump picked them respectively to be deputy chief of policy and press secretary. Number 2, a mass firing purge is at the center of Project 2025. The biggest goal of Project 2025 was to fire all the non-political government employees who were hired because of their expertise and replace them with MAGA henchmen. And sure enough, Trump has been on a firing frenzy. The head of the FAA resigned on Inauguration Day under pressure from unofficial co-president Elon Musk. And Trump fired the heads of the TSA and Coast Guard and scrapped the Aviation Security Advisory Committee, leaving critical air safety vacancies ahead of the tragic National Airport crash. Trump illegally fired more than a dozen inspectors general who are supposed to be the watchdogs against corruption and abuse at federal agencies. He nominated an FBI director who's called for shutting down FBI headquarters and replacing career crime fighters with MAGA cronies.
We got to put in all America patriots top to bottom.
And Trump has offered a financial incentive to all 2 million federal employees to quit immediately. Last time he was in office, it took Trump 4 years to put more than 2 million Americans out of work. And this time, he's tried to do it in his first week on the job. Can you imagine the chaos if the entire federal government took his offer and quit? If there were suddenly no one to run air traffic control, no one to cut social security checks, no one working at Veterans Affairs, no one doing cancer research, and no food safety inspections? And what would it do to the economy to suddenly have 2 million more unemployed Americans? It doesn't matter to Trump and the authors of Project 2025 because the pain is part of the point. Number 3. Remember when we said immigration enforcement is to be conducted like a war, with the military deployed within the U.S. and millions of immigrants rounded up and thrown into newly constructed mass holding camps? Well, Trump has indeed ordered the military to join immigration enforcement and has announced a 30,000-bed immigrant detention camp in Guantanamo Bay. Number 4. Project 2025 was obsessed with persecuting trans people. And so far, the Trump administration has been as well. Page 489 called for the federal government to deny the existence of trans people, which Trump did with one of his first executive orders. Page 62 called for disbanding the Gender Policy Council, which Trump immediately did also. Page 103 called for expelling trans people from the military, which Trump has started. Many pages are focused on blocking trans kids from living openly as themselves. And Trump is following those pages like a recipe, starting with an executive order blocking Medicaid or any government program from supporting gender-affirming care for kids. Number 5. The environment. Page 709 demanded the U.S. withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement. Trump did that on his first day. Page 529 demanded opening up Alaskan wildlife to drilling. Trump did that on his first day too. Page 520 said U.S. energy policy should prioritize fossil fuels over everything else. Sure enough, Trump's executive orders have blocked wind farms on federal lands and redefined energy as only oil, natural gas, coal, hydropower, biofuels, critical mineral, and nuclear energy resources. In other words, wind and solar are technically not even forms of energy anymore in the eyes of the federal government. And in accordance with page 431, Trump is blocking the EPA from limiting cancer-causing PFAS, or forever chemicals, from our drinking water. I am only scratching the surface of the Project 2025 policies that Trump has put in place, and he himself is only getting started. I'm Alan Piper at APiper13. Follow Courier Newsroom for the facts you need about this new administration.